Today we're going to talk about this article. Actually, I'm just going to talk about, this is the latest article on this topic, Facebook, crypto, and Facebook and their supposed cryptocurrency. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of this, and I'm going to tell you up front that I personally am not a fan of this, and I personally do not think, I think this delays mass adoption, and I'm going to tell you why a little bit later in this video. But first up, let's quickly take a look at the market for a moment, because I've been watching the market. I've been waiting for a pullback. You know how I invest if you follow my channel. I always invest on red days pullbacks. I like to see 5 or 10% pullback, and those are the days that I like to invest. And I'm currently watching Tron. I've been putting out a lot of Tron videos on my channel, and a lot of people are confused. They're like, do you like Tron? Do you not like Tron? Or I don't care what you say, Tron's gonna go well. Or, I don't care what you say, Tron's not that great. And it's almost like people can't figure out where I'm at with my videos. If you follow my channel and you pay attention to my videos, you know that I always look at the pros and the cons, the pluses and the minuses. I look at both sides, and I go into, when I'm making an investment into something, I go in investing knowing that there's a downside. And I'm always kind of a defensive investor, if you will. So like, for example, Tron, one of the things that I'm doing with Tron is I'm waiting for a pullback over here, about 5 or 10% pullback against Bitcoin by about 5 or 10%. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be probably building a position, going in about $200, $250 at a time, and build up a larger position. I don't ever go all in at once. Maybe I'll cover more about my investment strategies in another video, an upcoming video. I've talked about it before, but I oftentimes get questions. So let's just keep going. Let's get right into what this video is about. Bitcoin advocate bets on Facebook crypto team. So this gentleman here, this article is about Pomp, or Anthony Pompliano, whoever, diehard advocate for Bitcoin. So this guy's a strong advocate for decentralization, et cetera, et cetera. And his viewpoint, and you can read this article if you'd like, it's on Ethereum World News, but his viewpoint is basically, and there are other people I've seen on YouTube, and I've read articles that they say, hey, if people start using blockchain and people start using cryptocurrency, then they'll become accustomed to it. It'll be an easier road towards mass adoption. I actually think it creates a distraction towards mass adoption. I mean, yes, you're right. People are going to become more familiar with what cryptocurrency is, but they're going to become familiar with it under a false pretense. You see, the primary purpose in, for example, Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin, the primary purpose in Bitcoin is to create a decentralized, meaning it's not controlled by anyone, a decentralized public, meaning it's viewable, accessible by everyone, blockchain, a decentralized public blockchain that creates a trustless system where you don't have to trust Facebook, you don't have to trust a government, you don't have to trust anyone. It just is, it just exists. So what my concern is on the path to mass adoption, I fully believe that as some governments are going to do things that, for example, right now Venezuela is doing. And Venezuela's created their own cryptocurrency, but it's not on a public decentralized blockchain. It's on a private centralized blockchain that they control, they manipulate, they issue currency. They can, restrict currency. So they can burn it or they can reissue it. So it's quite honestly, it's one of the arguments against like Ethereum and Ripple. One of the arguments against Ripple is that it's not public enough. Well, of course it's not. It's designed to be a little bit more of a private, centralized process. People like to say it's decentralized, it's not private. No, it's more private than Bitcoin. It serves a private enterprises primarily. Ethereum, one of the complaints about Ethereum, and I was looking at this last night and discussing this in Discord last night, one of the arguments against Ethereum is that there's nothing set in stone about Ethereum, and this is one of the risks, and I'm a huge investor in Ethereum, but this is one of the risks. There's nothing set in stone about the supply. In other words, there's nothing that says they can't start creating more Ethereum tomorrow. Now, it wouldn't be wise. It would ultimately kill the platform, so they're probably not going to do that. But if you look at something like Bitcoin, which Ethereum is not designed to be like a true currency to interact with, to buy coffee with. The ultimate goal for Bitcoin is you could use Bitcoin or something like it to purchase anything under the sun. It is a truly decentralized currency. So there's this belief that well, if Facebook uses WhatsApp or whatever they own, and they have all these people that have this huge user base, and they have the credibility of being Facebook, then this will be awesome for people to start interacting with cryptocurrency. And I will agree with that. The problem is they're going to start interacting with it under the understanding and under the assumption that cryptocurrency is supposed to be on a private blockchain, and they're not going to understand the real purpose and the real desire for having a public decentralized blockchain. With that being said, I think it's going to more pave the way later on for governments, the U.S. government, Canadian government, European governments, any government, to start creating more centralized cryptocurrencies. And I think it's going to just be a longer process to people get to the more decentralized public cryptocurrencies. So I personally think that it's a distraction to getting to the true cryptocurrencies, which are decentralized public blockchains. Yes, I understand that people are going to use use the blockchain. I understand that this is going to introduce a lot of people to it. But I think that it just continues. For example, most people don't understand what's wrong with the US dollar. I think that if cryptocurrencies, private blockchains get abused, if governments abuse them, I think that can hurt people's understanding of the difference in a private blockchain. It's not an easy concept for people to understand. Let's just say, European government decides to issue their own cryptocurrencies, or the European Union, they issue their own cryptocurrencies, and at some point along the way they abuse it. They inflate its value away, they create too much of it, whatever, because it's not on a true decentralized proof of work type blockchain, right? And all of a sudden they abuse it, and it upsets all the citizens of the European Union. From that point forward, all the citizens that make up the countries in the European Union, they're going to be skeptical of blockchains. They're not. Most people are not willing to go that extra step to understand what makes a public decentralized cryptocurrency better than a private centralized cryptocurrency. So I think this muddies the water a little bit, and I don't think it's clear for people. That's my thoughts. I personally, now, sure, I like to see the technology getting used. Sure. And I'm going to continue to be optimistic about it. I have often thought, if you've watched my channel, that we were going to get to mass adoption through private centralized blockchain technology first. I've always thought there's a good shot that governments were going to co-opt this technology for their own use and ultimately misuse it, because it's only through the true Bitcoin technology, the true limited supply public blockchain that is truly decentralized, that's going to ultimately is where we're headed ultimately. But I do think corporations, companies, and governments will co-opt the technology first, and it's just what we're going to have to deal with. So I totally knew something like this was coming. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this is good? Do you think it's bad? You got mixed feelings on it? What are your thoughts? Please leave in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned. I got a video coming up. Subscribe to my channel, because you're not going to want to miss this video. I got a video coming up on one of the best, if not the best, personal use case that I'm aware of for cryptocurrency and a blockchain technology that nobody's talking about. Like, nobody's discussing this. And even most people that are in cryptocurrency don't even know that this is possible. You're not going to want to miss this. So you've got to make certain that you subscribe to my channel and be on the lookout for the next video, the next 1 or 2 videos that I put out. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this article. What are your thoughts on the future of cryptocurrency? Thank you for joining this revolution. Have a great day.